like I've surrounded myself with some of the most creative, talented, heartful people I've ever met in my life. And seeing them put in the work makes me want to put in the work. That's a really nice cycle, and it goes around. Seeing them care for other people makes me want to care for them. It goes around. And just being empathetic and seeing their empathy makes me want to just be a better person.
Thank you guys for joining us today. We're here for the fourth TILÈ Road to Feature podcast. My name is Jordan.
I'm Dex.
And today we have Steven here with us. And we're so happy for him to join us today to talk about all the work that he's doing over at UC Berkeley and beyond. So Steven, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So before we get started, just tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you into the film industry.
Cool. So I'm currently a UC Berkeley student studying environmental science and data science. Film is completely unrelated to what I study at all. But I got interested in film during my gap year, where right after graduation from high school, I went up to New York City with my brother, who's a DP. And I worked as his AC and as part of his G&E crew for about 3 months. Coming after that, I didn't really know what I was doing in my life, and somehow I got into UC Berkeley, but I knew that film was going to be part of my life. So I joined a film club called Cap Club, and ever since then I've been making short films, and this past summer I made a feature film.
Awesome. And your gap year was how many years ago?
I'm a sophomore now, so 2 years ago.
So 2 years ago, you go to New York with your brother, and you're just playing around, or you're just helping out pretty much.
Okay.
And so how do you think that experience, like I know a lot of people who can help out or who have done that type of stuff are not producing what you're producing, so how were you able to like connect those dots, do you think?
But even before that, gotta give you your flowers for such a short amount of time. You have a feature under your belt, bro. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And within itself. So
Yeah.
I'll just clap it up for that there alone.
Most def.
Now we get to that question.
I don't know. I feel like on most sets I was on, I just felt really obligated to work. Maybe that was because the DP was my brother, or maybe because I felt this opportunity was something I never had in high school. For context, in high school, I was very much a nerd. I was a STEM kid, orchestra, A's, blah, blah, blah. But coming out of high school, I kind of wanted to explore the arts, and I felt like getting into an environment where everyone was used to the arts was different for me, and I kind of wanted to prove myself. So I took the time, I tried to watch as many YouTube videos as possible, I tried to ask my brother questions without being too annoying, and I just learned.
YouTube University.
YouTube University.
Hey, you can learn a lot there.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and so to tell us a little bit about, before we jump into the specific scenes, tell us a little bit about the group that you're a part of and your experience being part of that group, like when you went there, where they're like, oh, you're a biology major, or like, how did that go?
Not at all. So the group I'm part of is called CAP Club, Cinematics Arts and Production Club at campus. It's a really nice group. It's very diverse. Our president is an EECS major, electrical engineering and computer science. We have like half of our members being like film majors, but the other half is anywhere from like microbiology to like me, environmental science. It's like more math, like applied math, yada yada yada. So it's a really diverse group of people, and I think that's great because A, we're more welcoming like that, but B, we also, the films we make, they have so many different stories in them that come from so many different backgrounds, and that I think makes our stories more powerful, more meaningful. And for me, getting to that group was wonderful because I could tell my own stories through my visual medium in that case.
Nice. And now, like, I know you said you watched your brother do it, and I'm assuming that sparked the interest within you to see your older brother, correct?
Yeah.
Doing this. Do you find yourself falling in love with creating a story in the aspect of, how can I put this? In a way of, this could be something that's for me, or is your heart and soul still in science?
That's the question I'm trying to ask myself right now. I've been asking myself about it for about 3 months now, and it's hard because I do have this love for data science and environmental science. I love how data science, you were basically being that bridge between like hard science that like people don't understand the numbers, but being that bridge to the public and showing through like graphs and like other plots that like, hey, this is actually like readable. Environmental science, I love the environment, I love going for hikes, and nature is, I feel like calling to it, but I also feel this obligation to film because I understand that I do like it a lot, and it has an effect on the people around me, and it has like an emotional effect too, which I haven't found in the STEM, the other STEM stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to find a way to balance all these three things, and whatever comes of it the next 2-3 years at Berkeley, we'll see.
Here you go. I would say don't cut yourself to 2, 3 years. Don't cut yourself short. Just do it well. Do them all until you
Yeah.
know which direction you want to go.
Thank you.
I was just saying that because I do a lot of shoots at Stanford and stuff, and I saw one time I had to shoot this orchestra of doctors, and they did the violin and the horns and they were on the piano and stuff. It was like the doctors. That's a hard profession to be in. Like it takes many years, but they still had that creative part of them, and you could tell that that was something that they wouldn't really have that connection if they just had let it go. So you could do both
Yeah.
or whatever comes to mind, just something. But so being a part of that group, when you're working with the team, like how do you guys come about the stories that you choose? And because we had Sebastian here not too long ago, and he told us that it's like 180 people in the group, and from being at the Lands End thing, I was thinking it's only like 10. So like how does that work?
For Cap Club, we have a large emphasis on just producing films. For context, Berkeley is a very theoretical. They have a very theoretical film program, and that gives a lot of emphasis on the clubs on campus to actually provide those production experiences. So for us, for Cap Club, we just want our members to make as many films as possible. We do that through a few things. The first is having small groups. We usually have groups anywhere from 4 to 15 people at the most. And those smaller groups allow everyone to get their hands on just different fields that you might not expect. You could be directing another day, the other day you'd be sound, after that you'd be editing, be gripping or doing G&E the day after. So having those small groups and making sure that everyone's getting their hands kind of dirty on the equipment, and I guess the overall production process is how we try to make our films just more diverse. So everyone else gains experience, and also at the same time, our films become better as a result.
That's beautiful. I wish I had that at my school.
I wish I had that too.
That's beautiful.
That's awesome.
Oh man. So with having that support system, is everybody in the group pretty close and knit, or because like I said, I didn't have that at my school. So with the process of somebody coming into that group, because I'm assuming there's 100+ people, you have people joining all the time. Is for you, okay, let's talk about your joining. Is when you got in there, was it easy to kind of pick up with everybody? Was everybody welcoming? Was everybody, willing to give a helping hand? Was it that type of environment?
I would agree. I think some of my best friends have come from the club. My roommates have come from the club. My gaffer in the future is actually one of my best friends in the entire world. And sometimes he just comes over, we bake, we do a lighting test with some tungsten lights that we use for the first time. It's very wholesome. Club's just a good place to be in. It's a good community, good place to talk about movies and just life in general. And just kind of changed my life, not gonna lie.
That's good. That's awesome.
So we have 2 films. So we know of 2 films. I don't know how many films you worked on, but we know of Overgrown and Lands End. Lands End. Can we talk about that experience of being a part of those groups? Well, I guess we could focus on Lands End first and then go to Overgrown maybe.
Cool.
Yeah. And yeah, just your experience, the whole process of being the DP in that, and what parts you took on, and how you shaped the image and helped bring the Lands into it where it was.
Yeah, even if like give it start from eight,
Hey,
the position, I mean, the idea of Lansing being presented to you, like walk us through that.
actually, it was on the set of Overgrown where I was approached by Alan Kim, our director, about whether or not I would like to shoot the film. And I read through the script. I thought it was pretty nice. I kind of related to the story and one of the characters. And then it was about 2 or 3 months out when we started doing the shot list, went through all of pre-production. And at this time, I was in Texas. I was back in Texas for about 2 weeks for a summer break. And the moment I touched down back in Berkeley, it was our first day on set. So I literally got out of SFO, touched down, took an Uber to Berkeley, picked up our gear, and then we went down to Stanford area to shoot.
You rented the gear?
Some of the gears from our director. Some of the stuff we did rent though.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. That's the hitting the grounds running, literally. Nice. So walk us through day one with Lansing.
Touchdown from SFO around 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Took an Uber to Berkeley, pick up our equipment, and by 12 o'clock we're on set in the place in South Bay. I forgot the name of the place.
Which scene did you shoot?
There's an opening scene. If you look at the stills, I believe it's the scene where
Which one?
the red-haired lady, she's sitting up like this. Half the frame is dark. The other half is her at a kitchen table. There we go. That scene.
Oh, got it. This
Yes.
is where you got started with it. It was pretty intimate with the 3 characters, right?
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
It was just a table scene between mother, father, and daughter. and they're talking about where the daughter was going to go to school and how she was going to pursue art. And there's an argument that follows. That was a good day, I think, for our first day because it wasn't too complex in set of setups. It was just a dinner scene, so we had some type of top light going down, some fill, some neg, and we wanted to emphasize kind of, at least my side, I wanted to emphasize the director to let him know that on the visual side, we'll be fine. I want you to focus on the actors, and I think we did that, and we established that repertoire in the first day.
That's mandatory, right?
Exactly.
So that he won't, he can just chill, focus on the characters and the story.
I like how, like you broke down, it's a very simple setup, but in this simple setup, it tells a lot of the story. It gives a lot of emotion. It gives a lot of, I wouldn't want to call it dramatics, but it has a dramatic touch to it of, I guess, trying to understand about where she's going to school, if I'm not mistaken. I like that. It's a harsh lighting, but I love because we see, pretty sure we're going to put this up here.
Yeah, we will.
We see the stress.
Yeah.
I mean, can we say frustration as well?
Please.
I like how that is actually, highlighted and shown in the film by lighting and by the angle there. The shot is amazing.
Yeah, the whole composition of it really being, most of it being in the darkness and her being in this, so she's sort of cornered out in a way. That was the intention
Exactly.
of the shot?
It was to block out the parents who were actually on the other side of the table
Mhm.
and just show her kind of alone in this corner of her own space, of her own world.
It's like
how
she-
she can't reach out.
Yeah, she's pretty much boxed in at this point.
Exactly.
Mhm. Yeah, awesome. Well, since we're here, can we, all right, I wanted to, so this rain scene here,
Oh, yeah.
this rain scene was dope.
Thank you.
Yeah, tell us the story behind it, the backstory. Was it challenging dealing with
Very.
that water?
It was the first thing I pointed out to our director when I read the script. I was like, I have no idea how we're going to do this. For our rain, we didn't actually go on a rainy day because that would have been crazy. But instead, we just got a high pressure nozzle from Amazon, put it on a hose and shot it straight up. To actually light the scene, it's just a simple backlight. I think we used a Godox 60-watt light, which is not that much power.
60 watt at night?
Yeah, it's wild.
With the and you shot with the FX6, I think I saw on the BTS.
Dual native ISO. Really saved our butts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Because I was like, this just a 60?
Yeah.
And so the hose, you just had a hose?
It's going straight up.
And where'd the water come from?
Actually, we visited this. We shot in this place called Vacaville, literally Cowtown, out in the middle of nowhere. It's a bit north of Berkeley.
Near
Yeah,
Fairfield.
I'm familiar.
And Vallejo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you look at the BTS, we met actually with the local there, and we asked him about 2 weeks in advance that, hey, we're going to be shooting something here. If you're okay with it, 2 weeks from now, can we use one of the local water hoses or pressure systems, whatever? And he was very kind. His name is John. He let us use it, and then we literally shot for more than 12 hours. I can't say the exact amount.
This scene?
We prepped for
Just
quite a while.
yeah, gotcha.
Exactly. The original
Okay.
plan was to have lights further down the road to give the sense more of depth.
Mm-hmm.
Some things didn't work out with our power supply, so we stuck with the Godox light instead.
Yeah.
And by the end of the shoot, at the end of the night, I believe we were left with about 15% of battery left. So we were really, really cutting it close.
Yeah.
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 Was there is there any modifiers being used on that 60, or is just straight punch from the
Straight
light?
punch.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
A
beautiful.
Godox, too.
I know.
It's supposed to be the affordable light.
Hey,
That's a
it
hustle.
works.
All right. I mean, there's so many things to cover. All right. Should we? All right. Hold on. Which one do you want to pick? One Dex, or you want me to pick?
I think we talked about.
I like
how-
this one.
Let's
I
talk
like
about that.
I like the scene where you had them dancing. It was it was a big wide shot, but you had the sunlight in the background, and they were almost silhouetted.
Yeah. If you actually scroll over, I believe you can find it 6 or 8 stills from it. It's part of a trifecta of stills.
Okay.
There we go.
Right here. Oh, here we go.
Um,
Got it.
For this, for our main reference was La La Land. I think that's kind of evident.
Yeah.
Yeah. La La Land leans more into the blues and oranges because it leans more to blue hour. And I guess that is not what we wanted to go for. We wanted to go for more orange palette, really highlight tone of the grass that you can no longer see, but translate that from the earth to the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty simple. We shot, I think, 6 takes of this because we were going to the choreo, and Jarvis was being a human metronome also shouting at the beats, and he was really on it. It was wonderful. We rehearsed the dance itself for about 3 hours, I think, 3 to 4 hours prior to Golden Hour.
That day.
Exactly.
The same day.
Yeah.
Okay. And then did you rehearse with camera as well?
Camera was pretty simple. It was just a slow movement over. So we
Okay.
just put on a Dana Dolly, and that was it.
Nice.
Gotcha.
But we did go to the location prior to shooting to just make sure the lighting conditions were working. and that we would be able to see enough of like the silhouettes that you wouldn't be completely blocked out by the mountains in the back.
So like a test day, or just
Exactly.
just to test it out. Okay.
Yeah.
If I can't ask, what glass did you use for this?
24 to 70 G Master 2
G Master
for everything. Yeah.
The G Master for everything. The 24 to 70.
Except for one shot. There's a shot where one of our characters, actually, his name is Hugo. He's on the right there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a shot where he's kind of in like a mental state that's not the best place, and we shot that on a Helios 44 2.
See, that's what. So, me knowing, that's what I was gonna ask. What was this the Helios? Because it looks like that, and it's pretty soft. I was either gonna ask that lens, or did you use a Hollywood Pro Mist or a black Pro Mist filter or anything like that? But that soft touch and that lens flare kind of.
Yeah. So that was actually on the 24.
That was the 24-70?
Yeah, but that was with
we're cutting that out.
that was with the Pro Mist 1/8.
Nice.
Oh, so he did have
He did
this
have
one.
something.
Okay.
It's
see.
very beautiful, very soft.
Yeah.
Like this.
Thank you.
Yeah. So many good. Okay. All right. I want to touch in on these scenes here. Yeah. Can we talk about how you lit this and what inspired this, and so the audience knows, this is the scene where he's on the piano.
Yeah.
Got it.
So I got really lucky in terms of lighting setup because this is actually on campus for Berkeley, and they already have very strong lights. And I was lucky in that the lights were hitting the floor and then bouncing up to reflect those the bounce light onto his face.
Got it.
So I didn't have to do too much in terms of lighting. Occasionally we did move a 600D like to the side. We need more rim lighting. But for the most part, we were just running the light that was already there. I got lucky because the floor also was wooden. And that adds this really nice orangish glow that looked natural, at least on his face, from what I saw.
Nice.
Oh, awesome. That one's pretty close. What about the close up, like the close up shots and stuff? Can you speak to that and what and the meaning behind it? I believe when I was watching it gave me a sense of pressure.
Yeah.
And was that
That was the intention.
that was the intention.
So this is a scene where our character Yoon, he has just suffered an injury on his hand, and his outlook on his life is going to be pretty bad. So he's going to take some tests, and he's going to do some XYZ things. So for this shot, we had a pretty simple setup. We had 3 lights. We had a P60 coming from overhead just to give a bit more emphasis on his hair. We had an actual laptop screen, just like straight laptop screen with like a white canvas, whatever, blocking on his face, which does most of the effort here. And then for just a bit of catch light, we put an MC right below the laptop.
Keyboard
Right.
and the monitor.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Just to kind of catch that highlight in his face.
Got it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, the extra.
And some
Extra
neck
punch.
on the side, yeah.
Yeah, man. This is this is all
All
good
beautiful
stuff.
shots. Honestly.
Yeah.
All beautiful shots. And then you mentioned another film. We got caught up in Land's End, but
Hey,
you
well,
also
Overgrown.
Overgrown.
You shot that one as well. Yeah.
How was working on that set?
Wonderful. I love the director so much. He has got a very, at least on set, he has very distinct vision, but he's also able to give and flow, if you will. He has an idea of how he wants the shot, but if I said, hey, maybe we do this shot, Sebastian is more than willing to change the shot,
That's beautiful.
which is great.
Nice.
The crew is amazing. We went to so many different locations in the middle of like nowhere, in like forest, in like Marin. We went down to Santa Cruz, I believe that's the place. I'm from California.
Mhm.
No. And we just kind of trekked into the middle of nowhere, so in the middle of the woods, and we got bit by mosquitoes. There's plants everywhere.
Welcome to California.
Exactly. But it was a good shoot, and I really do enjoy the experience I had on set.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that was Sebastian.
That was Sebastian, the guy we just spoke to.
Yes.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome.
That is a good trait to have on set as a director, that he has a vision, but he's still open minded to suggestions. That's dope.
So what is it that you're working on next? What's next for you? Even though you don't know if you want to, do you want to just stop doing film at any point, or yeah, okay? Because earlier you said that you got but that makes sense. So what's next for you in terms of projects you're working on, and kind of where do you see the possibilities?
So for this semester, at least, I'm doing more management stuff for the club. Our club needs a bit of money, long story short. So we're going to do client work, and I'm trying to find basically a group of people who are willing to do that client work. And I'm trying to lead that initiative myself, but that's taking quite a lot of time from like the narrative stuff. Next semester, though, if I have more time, I would really love to work on a larger project. I've been trying to do less like sci-fi or fantasy, less unrealistic films, if you will,
Mhm.
and more grounded in like drama, very like interpersonal relationship stories like that. I feel more like I can connect more to.
Human.
Exactly.
Man, your stomach is
I know,
talking,
you
boy.
know
It's you hungry
Cut
ass
that out,
sandwiches
too.
right there.
Fine. And do you see yourself writing, directing, or is director of photography that for you?
I feel like most film students, myself included, at least, sorry. I feel like most people want to be directors,
Mhm.
and for a while I did have that kind of dream, but right now I'm really happy where I am as a DP.
There you go.
Perhaps in the future, if I write, I write. But for now, I like visuals. I want to sit there.
All right, there you go.
That's awesome. All right, now we are coming down to the wire on this interview. This has been a great interview, by the way. Hopefully, super. It was informative for me. It's awesome to meet you and stuff like that. So let's jump into. But before we go, what keeps you going in terms of your creativity? Like what gives you that fire to be a creative?
Person. The people around me. I think I've surrounded myself with some of the most creative, talented, heartful people I've ever met in my life. And seeing them put in the work makes me want to put in the work. That's a really nice cycle and it goes around. Seeing them care for other people makes me want to care for them. It goes around. And just being empathetic and seeing their empathy. It makes me want to just be a better person.
That's beautiful. That sounds like a group of individuals that you definitely want to throw your arm around and hold them tight for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
Honestly, so that's beautiful.
forever hold on tight.
Um,
And then what do you want to add to a party?
no, I was just gonna add that definitely the energy, the vibe, the things it sounds like this group brings to set is exactly the blueprint and the key of a successful story, successful production, and a successful career. So to you and everybody else in the group, I wish the best of luck and continue going, continue swinging with these stories because it looks beautiful, story's beautiful. I'm looking forward to more to come.
Bright future. No, and
Mhm.
where can people find you?
StevenZengDP.com. Sorry. Wednesday handle StevoZeng, STEVOZENG. And if you're on UC Berkeley campus and you ever want to get food, just hang out, maybe just go for a run or a hike. That's DM me.
All right, I'll take you on.
I was gonna say, I don't know about
I can
you.
do
I
a-
might be up
I
there
can do a
on
run.
Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah,
It just
all right.
depends on the speed. if you keeping it slow, I'm with you. No, but awesome. This has been a great interview. We really appreciate you having you, Steven. And we are out. We'll see you guys on the flip side. Peace.